ground.
What's going on, creeps? CreamPire? I'm drunk. Let's get into the cream stream. Oh, let me change my watermark. It's my other buddy's watermark. There we go. Yay! Demonicon, here we come. If you're not a fan of Ryzen, you loser. I like this intro. This is a game you can't alt-tab out of. If you do, you're fucked. You could try to close it and restart it.
Now, if it isn't the strapping lad from the refugee camp, wanna show me your naughty sword?
What are you looking for around here? Punch in the head?
Looking for a little fun?
Now that the guard is here, sometimes even see people from the other town.
A trick.
Better to keep your head down. Here, you can have a knife across your throat faster than you can say for effect's sake.
Good to see you, lad. Thanks again for the thorned rose. By Mother Parain, you made the right decision. I've another assignment for you. Are you interested?
Then tell me about this assignment.
It's about a man named Fyodor Brigante, a mage who settled down here. He's under house arrest, heresy. He's to be transferred to the guard's headquarters now, with an escort.
Why do you want to move the heretic? Does this have anything to do with Perel's declaration of war?
Right. Fyodor is no longer safe at home. The Kreutzer cartel could strike at any moment. We have to be prepared.
Why would the cartel be interested in a heretical mage?
Fyodor has a vast knowledge of witchcraft, demons, constellations, disease. He's an expert in these things and talks about them constantly. In the hands of the cartel, his knowledge could be quite dangerous. That's why we need to get him to safety. And, of course, it pays well.
Folk of Aravor appears to be involved in Tiakranor's machinations. Do you have any idea what's behind it?
Can you prove it, lad? You can get yourself into a mess of trouble if not.
It's the truth. Tiakranor himself even confirmed it.
I believe you can, but I'm probably the only one. No Rondrian would ever get involved with a necromancer. That'd be treason. And even if you do have evidence, you'll need power and a good reputation in the city. Otherwise, you'll never get the chance to submit it to the Metropolitan.
I don't even have citizenship. So my sister is sold off to the most powerful man in town, who betrays his own order, and I can't even prove it.
A marriage without love. That's bad. Someone has to do something.
What do you mean?
The folk of Arivor may be calling the shots for the Rondrians at the moment, but Sumadan of Bregelsalm is still the Margrave of Warwick. If I were to put in a good word for you, your family could get their citizenship this way too.
You'd do that for me, Sergeant?
Why not? If you don't disappoint me, well, lad, then you can count on me.
Tell me about the heretic.
He climbed up on a barrel in the market and started talking rather incoherently about the gods. Free thinking, you can be hanged for that. My lads were fast enough and got to him before the Rondrians. All he got from me was 3 weeks of house arrest.
Then you didn't consider the heresy all that bad?
You know, lad, people talk a lot of nonsense, but they never admit it. Oh no, I prefer it when someone opens their mouth and gets themselves caught. Fyodor didn't preach demon worship or anything of the like, and if I can annoy the Rondrians, I'm twice as happy to save his life. I also have a feeling that his knowledge could soon be very useful, but maybe I'm wrong there.
Maybe you are. Who knows?
Aren't the Rondrians responsible for dealing with heresy?
They are. They believe that free thought is a major cause of people pacting with demons. That's why they're really cracking down at the moment. I don't tend to see it so strictly myself, but if someone disturbs the public peace, the guard has to step in. That's still better than having people accuse their neighbors of heresy just because they can't stand one another. Because that's what the Rondrians' crackdown will lead to, even if that isn't their goal.
Then tell...
It's about a man. He's to be transferred.
Why do you want to move there?
Right.
Why would the...
Feared in that.
All right, I'll escort the heretic.
Very good. Then go to Kreutzer Alley. There you'll find Fyodor. Bring him safely through Kreutzer Alley. My people will be waiting at the other end. Once Fyodor is safe here with me, I'll get you your citizenship. See, I don't like it when my people have to beg the Rondrians for passes.
Yes, Sergeant.
One more thing, lad. You seem familiar somehow. Have we ever met before?
Not that I know.
Strange. Very strange.
place looks like it could use it.
What are you looking for around here? Punch in the head?
If it isn't a strapping lad.
You should put your money pouch in your shirt. Something to make it easy for the cartel.
Don't be like that. I still need at least 2 more customers today.
Fyodor?
The proper salutation is learned scholar Mr. Brigante, or at least Lord Magus. Who are you anyway?
The house arrest is over. For safety's sake, I'm to bring your skull to City Guard headquarters. Learned scholar, Mr. Magus.
An escort? It seems to me that this is more of an arbitrary intrusion of state authority upon my privacy. I protest! I do not need a murderer to escort me. You will have to bring me to Sergeant Fergalosh the same way I entered house arrest, voluntarily.
I am here to protect you, Magus. Things in Kreutzer Alley will soon be much rougher than they are now. The truce between the Guard and cartel has been broken.
Sergeant Fergalosh is a bully, and you are the personification of roughness. Being a prisoner of the cartel would be an equivalent state.
Is that what you want, then?
Well, in truth, I'm still undecided, as it were.
What do you think about the Kreutzer cartel's goal?
Well, one cannot really call them goals. Basically, the cartel. Without the urbane Mr. Parel Notgelf, these people would be a godsend for any kind of soul catchers, demon worshippers, priests, and gods know what else. Even if Parel wears the mantle of the free spirit like a feathered headdress, his aspirations are purely material. Basically, the cartel is not a good environment for a reputable scientist. On the other hand, it is sometimes quite useful to know the smugglers.
What do you think of Fergalosh and his people?
Fergalosh believes he represents law and order here. He competes with the Rondrians, which is logical considering the fact that he is paid by the Margrave. He considers me a troublemaker, and therefore wants me behind bars. It took a lot of convincing to barter him down to a house arrest. You said the truce is broken? Then it is logical that Fergalosh wants to have me brought in. He is afraid of my potential. But a free spirit cannot be constrained by any walls. You can be certain of that. Oh, for a free spirit there are no walls at all. Ergo, to me it does not matter one whit whether I'm at home or in the Guard's headquarters.
I have a question about a magical...
Of course, Nandus is with the Inquisitor.
I've never had a hint of magic in me all my life, and now suddenly something has awakened within me.
Intuitive, elemental, or demonic? I mean, maybe you're possessed.
It had something to do with the mixing of blood. It feels like I were using other people's life force to do magic.
Borberadian? And you claim you knew nothing about it? Don't act like a fool, man.
I'm not a Borberadian. I never learned to use blood to do magic. It just happened.
Look, this is completely implausible. Borberadian magic requires years of practice and a sound education. This gift can't have just come to you out of the blue. It could have come from the Nether Hells, but that would have required truly potent demonic activity.
It wasn't like that. I never sold my soul.
Very reasonable.
Can't you help me at all?
You seem to have a very powerful patron who is not too particular in his morality. He will likely know. Or the outbreak of the gift was an accident. Then you just have to live with that power and hope that you die before anyone can claim your soul in return.
Do you know the Rondrian folk of Aravor? Can you tell me anything about him?
Folk of Aravor? That's right, one of the Rondrians. I'd completely forgotten him. He is also
You think he is a libertarian?
infinitely libertarian. Infinitely. Unbelievable. He who knows no boundaries would simply burst. That alone makes him dangerous. Ha! And someone like that is the Metropolitan's deputy, while serious scientists are called heretics.
What heresies has he spread?
We once had a philosophical dispute. That in itself is remarkable for a Rondrian. What really frightened me was his detailed knowledge of blood magic and demonology. I would have expected a Borberadian to possess that knowledge, but not a priest of the goddess of war. Do not misunderstand me. Borberad was a demigod, and many of his teachings breathed the spirit of freedom, but ultimately his arrogance brought him and his disciples to fall. Interesting. The hubris dialogue is a transcendental problem, the dilemma of master and servant potentiated within arcane karmic interdependency. Conclusion, the man is suspicious. Do you have other questions?
Just come with me, Magus.
I do that which my will commands.
Now, if it isn't the strapping lad from the refugee camp, wanna show me your mighty sword?
What are you looking for around here? Punching the head?
Don't be like that. I still need at least two more.
What are you looking for around here? Punching the head?
There you are. Excellent.
It was far too easy.
Yes, well, lovely. Come, Lord Magus. We'll soon have you safe.
Safe. Security and law and order. I like this naive little sergeant.
Well then, lead me away.
Young man, I'll see you soon. Maybe I'll even drop by for a visit.
Yes. Take care, Magus.
And give Fergalosh my regards when you collect your reward. You're back, you...
Calm down, Perel. I want to talk to you.
Fyodor was important to the cartel. You should never have delivered him to Fergalosh. And I haven't forgotten that business about the Thorned Rose yet, either. I should have you sent to the Nether Hells here.
As if loyalty meant a damn thing to you, Perel. I've had enough of these insults.
I've got something against traitors, and I've got something against those who kill my people. By the fiery father, how can you ever make up for that?
Give me the most dangerous assignment that you have, Perel. I'll prove to you that you need me.
You really do seem to be serious, Chiron. Very well, you get one last chance. Damn, who do you remind me of? That makes...
What is it?
The citizens of Warunk are starving, and they are no longer willing to put up with it.
The arsenal, is it?
The armory contains building materials, weapons, and above all, food. Fergalosh, after Warunk was...
Who?
Falk of Arivor. Ah, I knew that you would like this information. At any rate, the armory is located in the east town. My men and I will help the citizens.
Seems to be a serious matter. What do you want?
The cartel is... Shake on it.
Why did Falk of Arivor prevent the Rondra Temple from being used as an armory?
That is very strange, isn't it? Why keep an old, discredited temple? Especially when it was a brothel named Rondra's Tits during the rule of the Necromancers. The old Rondra Temple is much larger than the current arsenal, more practical and easier to defend.
You mean Falk has a good reason not to give up the old Rondra Temple?
You know, Chiron, the Rondrians are not all alike, even if they act like a solid block. Some are behind the Metropolitan's strict policies, some are not. From what we know now of Falk, his opinions on many things will differ in many ways from those of Metropolitan Yarkon. While Yarkon wants to cleanse the city with fire and sword, Falk is much more tolerant. The one says, hang those who pact. The other says, forget the past. You have to look to the future.
An old and a new temple. Two great symbols for a city where every citizen has at least 2 dead bodies in the basement.
Falk is currying the favour of Warunkians and therefore plotting against his master, the head Rondrian Yarkon. Evil but brilliant. Oh, and by the way, the people love grand weddings of the high and mighty. And then, with a girl coming from a life of poverty, cunning.
That's enough, Perel.
All right. I didn't mean to offend you, Chiron.
Will the Rondrians also be involved in the fight?
As far as I know, the Rondrians know nothing of the planned assault, and I think it should stay that way. We won't deal with the Rondrians until the balance of power with the Guard is clarified. Let's see how they react when the cartel is loved by all. Good bait catches fine fish, I always say. For now, we'll just cozy them along.
Don't you think that the Rondrians would suspect you if there were an uprising?
I maintain a good relationship with the Rondrians. Just the other day, I was able to supply them a new executioner's sword. It seems the old one was lost. However, there may be some complicated negotiations after the storm. We need to think carefully about who gets what and how much. Sometimes I wish that Tocker was here. He would be a great help.
Who's Tocker?
An old business partner of mine whom I really miss. Also human. But enough talk.
Why do you want your people to help the citizens attack?
Because everyone here has a right to receive enough. No law in the world can force them to starve in silence.
And there's nothing in it for you in the cartel, right?
The answer may surprise you, but I actually find pleasure in the thought of doing something good for the citizens. I've had enough of watching this misery, starvation, disease, oppression. The Warunkians have already seen enough of that. Even the Exodus hardly changed the citizens' situation, and nowadays the refugees are eating us out of house and home. The Rondrians, the Margrave, Fergalosh, no one has been able to help people here, but I will.
I've got the picture.
If you prove yourself in the attack, Chiron, then you're one of us. The Kreutzer cartel will take you in and forget everything that has gone between us.
That will make me the mortal enemy of the entire city guard. Is that really the price for my citizenship?
One can't have everything. I will keep my word.
This is an important decision.
You don't have much time. Speak to me once you've decided. I'll wait here.
I'm gonna go tattletale.
Kangrosha, good job, lads. My thanks. I do not want to promise too much, but the next assignment could be pretty profitable, and it concerns the whole city.
I'm listening.
The Kreutzer cartel is planning a revolt. They want to storm the armory.
Storm the arsenal? Why?
They want to eat up all the provisions, steal building material, and weapons. Even if they are poor bastards, I cannot let that happen. We need every man to defend the arsenal.
Is the armory really that badly fortified?
Unfortunately, yes. It's just a simple, half-timbered house in the east town, hard to defend. I recommended using the old Rondra temple for an armory from the beginning, but folk of Arivor prevented it. Hard as granite, the rotter. So, lad, here's your chance to prove yourself. Will you fight for law and order, or not?
Why don't you give the hungry enough to eat?
And give in to the Kreutzer cartel's intrigues? Never! We can't condone anyone breaking the law. If the starving mob storms the armory today, they'll be standing in front of the Prince's palace tomorrow. I won't allow Warunk to sink into chaos just because a couple of hungry people can't wait for their rations. We would like to distribute even more food. The Rondrians would too, but the refugees from the surrounding areas are literally eating the beards off our faces. Cursed soil produces little wheat. All the food must be brought from the coast, and we can't keep distributing it fast enough. Oh, if Fargosh were but here, he could help us.
Who's Fargosh?
Fargosh was my brother. I lost him. Let's talk about something else.
Why did Folk of Arivor prevent the old Rondra temple from being used as an armory?
I dunno exactly, Ken. Guess it's just greedy and wants the Church of Rondra to have two temples. The new one in the upper town and the old one down here. As I said, the old Rondra temple would at any rate have been more spacious and would have been much better suited than the arsenal. Now that I think about it, Folk bears a certain responsibility for the rebellion.
That's strange. Why does he want to keep a temple that used to be a brothel called Rondra's Tits? Especially when a new one is being built in the upper city.
No one can be certain that the temple was really desecrated. Many Warunkians would be pleased if the Rondrians were to reopen it. I mean, yes, many are of the opinion that the whole occupation thing should finally be put to rest. No wonder, seeing as how they all used to fix their scales anyways.
Well, that would fit everything I know about him so far. He doesn't really take the honor part too seriously.
Drax Ragdoshel, he's dividing the Rondrians. That means even more trouble. Hopefully, Metropolitan Yakon will return soon.
Why don't you give the hungry...
We will cuss.
Who's...
Let's...
What about the Rondrians? Will they be involved in the fight?
No, I'm not letting any twisted lion worshipper stick his nose into my business. This is a matter for the Guard. To be precise, a matter for the Guard and the Kreutzer cartel. If they want to challenge us, good. We can determine the balance of power once and for all at the Arsenal.
In the end, the Rondrians will find out anyway. Wouldn't it make more sense to work with them?
This is going to be a dirty fight. They'll be happy they can stay out of it. In addition, it's bad enough that the Rondrians control the West and Upper City. The East City must remain Guard territory. And even if they are insulted, I'm sure the prisoners know something about the sword the Rondrians lost.
You want to take prisoners, Sergeant?
We're certainly not going to kill half the city. After all, I wouldn't want to be inhuman. You ken my drift.
Just to make certain, what
You help us to defend the Arsenal against the rebels. In return, I'll admit you to the Guard. That's your shot at citizenship.
I don't need it.
One more
You're going to not only make me a citizen, but a guard as well? Then the Kreutzer cartel will do anything they can to harm me.
Law and order. That's Warunk in a nutshell. Anyone who doesn't like it doesn't belong here.
I'll do it. I want to belong to the Guard.
Excellent. Then we'll meet at the armory in the East City.
Here they come! To arms!
Hold the line at all costs.
Well fought, Chiron. You came at the right time.
That was probably just an advance party.
Yeah, you're right. But we can't get the damn gate closed.
What's wrong with it? Don't tell me the lever for the portcullis broke.
No, it's stuck. The gear's broken.
Where can I find a new one?
Down the street there's an outpost, but it's probably already overrun. The bandits came from that direction. I can't leave my position.
I can deal with it. Hang on until I get back.
Well, hurry. The storm may break at any time. We can't hold the gate any longer. Pull back.
Chiron, we won! Welcome to the city guard, my friend. Welcome to the ranks of Warrank's citizens.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Damn, that was a good fight. We even caught the ringleaders.
Ringleaders? You mean you caught Perel?
Ha! He won't get his hands dirty, but his henchmen will do us fine. They've already talked. Once they're hanging from the walls, no one will dare attack the guard again.
You want to hang them?
They knew what to expect. Anyone who kills my men will pay for it.
How did you manage to convince the Margrave to award me citizenship so quickly?
He knows he can count on me. If I trust a man, so does he. Citizenship applies to you and your entire clan.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. I'm happy to do what I can for my people. Oh, by the way, give your father my greetings. I think I know now why you seem so familiar to me.
Did the prisoner say anything about Falk?
No, for once he had naught to do with it. But I think your information is sufficient to make Metropolitan Yakon at least suspicious.
Could you arrange for a meeting with Yakon when he returns?
I think so. Dinna fash yourself.
If you execute the prisoners, the Kreutzer cartel won't make peace for a long time.
It won't anyway. Too much blood has been shed. But the cartel has been weakened. They won't be causing trouble again soon. People can once again sleep in peace. And the honest traders in Warunk now have less competition from the smugglers. That's good for their prices.
Has the ringleader's testimony brought anything?
They knew nothing about the executioner's swords stolen from the Rondrians, and nothing about the missing amber either. But no matter, they told me a lot about Parel.
Has the ring...
They knew nothing, but no matter.
Are you sure you want to execute these people? They have families.
That's the law. Criminals are to be executed. We can't allow some few to steal supplies belonging to everybody. And dinna tell me that we would be besmirching our victory, or that the poor would thank us. What is important is that decent people can live in safety.
Sergeant, you already have a guilty conscience, and you haven't even decided yet.
Not true. I don't care about the families. They must be punished.
Sergeant, you are lying to yourself.
Well, lad, if you're such an expert, then you're to decide whether we should execute them.
Let them live. There's really been enough bloodshed.
For all I care, let them live, but they must be punished. Every one of them loses his right hand. We'll meet again at the headquarters. There's something to celebrate. Your admittance to the city guard of Warunk.
The ringleaders' lives were spared, and the city of Warunk sentenced each of them to 12 moons' hard labor on the construction sites. The poor remained hungry, but there was no more doubt about the fair and just distribution of supplies. The law was enforced, yet humanely. The weakening of the Kreutzer cartel meant fewer goods now arrived in the slums. The Rondrians and prosperous Warunkins complained that the problem had not been fully rooted out. Margrave, however, praised Charon's mercy and displayed his own goodwill.
But today you've shown that you stand for law and order. You've also figured out which end of your sword to hold on to. I want you to be one of us. One of the guards.
As long as I don't have to wear fruit on my chest, I'm in.
It was done. His actions at the armory had secured Chiron and his family a place within the protection of Warrank's walls. Falk of Arivor would have to find another bride. Yet Chiron had no time to rejoice, for panic suddenly erupted in the streets of Warrank. In the western city, hordes of undead rose to attack the refugees. Chiron lost no time, for his family was in danger. He hurried to the refugee camp.
Oh.
Undead and demonic magic. Hang on, Calandra. Calandra,
We're doing fine, Chiron.
This hut won't take this for long. With you here, we can try and break out.
what the hell's happened?
The attack came suddenly. We were lucky that we rescued the others.
Lucky is an understatement. Right now, they're shredding everything alive out there. The undead are coming from all directions.
Then there must be several sources, summoning circles, necromancers' work.
We need to head for the Prios Temple. It's easiest to defend.
Consecrated ground. If we're lucky, the Sun God's blessing will stop the undead. Let's go.
Alone? And what about the people here? They're refugees too, just like us.
And just where exactly is Folk? Aren't Daeons supposed to deal with the undead?
Stop it, Chiron. We don't know where they're fighting the undead here in the camp. Right. We don't even know if the Prior's temple is even still consecrated.
Stop it, both of you! At least the temple is easy to defend.
Let's just go. And... Right.
Right.
Seems the Rondri...
That...
I heard from the refugees they saw a number of summoning circles on the way here.
Then there are probably several necromancers.
Those summoning circles must be destroyed, otherwise the attacks will continue.
They'll have enough reinforcements with the amount of dead lying here. If those summoning circles really are the source of the undead, that would definitely be an advantage for us.
It would mean that the undead aren't just appearing on their own, but that someone's calling them. You can't summon undead, demons, or even elementals without summoning circles.
Let us hope that the necromancers didn't forget their protective circles. Otherwise, where's the challenge?
Quit showing off, as if protective circles would affect you. It's not like you're from the Netherhells, Chiron.
Maybe not. But maybe these necromancers can tell. We no longer belong to these people.
What do you mean?
We have our citizenship. We can enter the city.
I don't have to marry him?
This is not the time. Let's go.
The undead could attack at any moment. We have to go.
I will not leave these people here.
You really are out to make us the patron saints of this camp, aren't you?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Chiron.
Chiron, go ahead. You hack your way through the worst of it, and we'll follow with the refugees.
From one summoning circle to the next, if I catch a necromancer, I destroy his circle, and you follow. It's the tougher path, but there's less danger if we meet them head-on than in having them follow us.
Let's go. What have you found?
A severed hand. Leftovers from the storming of the armory.
Severed body parts as a sacrifice for the invocation of a demon.
The only one who really comes into question is Thalgunitoth, archdemon of the undead.
The Dark Mother.
Stop it, both of you. Anyone naming names is playing with their soul.
As if that ever stopped you, Father.
This is something else, Calandra. You don't understand.
Don't think for a minute that you can keep fobbing me off with that old line.
All right, let's keep moving. We still haven't caught all the necromancers.
You found something?
A piece of amber. A sacred stone of the sun god Prios. One exactly like the one that was stolen recently. No charges were ever laid because the victim was afraid.
You've really been having a good look around Warren, haven't you?
Black Haraz. Definitely the Lord of Vengeance. He's the only one anyone would offer up a piece of amber to in order to facilitate the invocation.
You mean the sun god, Prius' nemesis? What would he have to do with summoning undead?
Maybe that explains why they were able to attack during the day without turning to dust.
The light-shunning rabble.
Don't be silly. This just doesn't fit. We'll need to find the mastermind if we want to know more. If Black Haraz is involved, someone is out for revenge. But when he starts summoning undead at the same time, he's out to divert attention from something else. Something bigger.
Oh, then it has to be a Borberadian, Father. With them, nothing is ever the way it seems.
Find that funny, do you? You find that funny, you silly fool?
Come, Father, calm down. We need to get going. Now, if we find him and he really is a Borberadian, you can have the finishing blow.
You are fools, children. Happy fools.
Well, we're happy here.
Another barricade. At least one summoner must still be alive.
What the hell's happened here?
One less necromancer, one more demonic sacrifice. An executioner's sword with a lioness coat of arms on it. Exactly the same kind of weapon just stolen from the Rondrians.
A Rondrian weapon as an offering in an undead summoning? That's strange. The War Goddess's demonic opponents have nothing to do with revenants.
Right. That summoning must have been directed at some other demon than the archdemon Thargunitoth. The undead have been called independently of this summoning. Besides Rondra's nemesis Belhalha, I'd say Blackaraz, the Lord of Vengeance, would probably be a good guess. Executioner swords are often sacrificed to him.
How come you know so much about demons?
You picked these things up over the years. Chiron, weren't you in a hurry? There's still a good way to the Prios Temple. Folk.
Who would ever thought to see you?
Sharp-tongued as ever. At least there's one way to distinguish you from the undead.
You have some nerve, man. Why are you just standing around instead of fighting the way your lion goddess commands? People are dying like flies here.
The leader of the necromancers has fled to the Prios Temple. He's trapped.
The House of the Sun God has been desecrated.
The God of Princes will not protect the lowliest. At least we know that now.
And we know where his soul will go when we've finished with it.
Protect the refugees. I'm going in.
You were very brave. In Rondra's name, I'll let you go first.
Suddenly worried about getting your fingers dirty?
No, dear Chiron. For once in your life, you too should have the chance to prove your worth. Maybe some rich citizen's daughter will hear of your courage. A cleverly arranged marriage with a little tart like that, and you could gain citizenship.
You...
Chiron! Please.
I'm going in.
Chiron, I have been expecting you.
How do you know my name?
You won't need a name where you're going. Get ready to face the Dark Mother.
bitch.
The villain's escape left many questions unanswered. Who summoned them? What did he want to achieve? Why did Falk, a senior Rondrian, allow Chiron to face the summoner? Instead of replying, Falk ordered the Rondrians to seal off the refugee camp and comb it in search of the summoner there, using whatever means necessary. He quartered his bride Calandra and her family in the Old Pillory, the best guest house on the square. At least now, with the approaching wedding, his thoughts seemed to focus on Calandra's welfare. At least, that was the impression he gave.
Bastard. Me and my sister are meant to be together.
Stop eavesdropping, Chiron. What is said in the next room is none of your business.
Falk is talking to his mother, probably planning his next crime, the bastard.
Enough! We all realize that you can't stand them.
Not even you like those two, Father. We could see the way you stared at Falk's mother.
You had better get used to them.
I'm not going to do it, Father. We have citizenship. We no longer need them.
You will marry Falk, and you will move with him when his church transfers him.
I go where I want, and I'll marry the man I love.
Bite your tongue, Calandra. You don't even know what you're saying.
Never, ever talk to us like that again. Otherwise you will find yourself sitting there all alone in the morning with your damn citizenship.
You're a stubborn, rebellious idiot, Chiron. Stop inciting your sister like that.
Father, I love Chiron.
You don't know what you're saying.
Yes, she does.
And I love her.
Children, you're running to your doom.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything. I thought that maybe little Calandra would give me some advice on how we can make the wedding particularly tasteful. The old Rondra temple is such an austere, dreary building, and it would be a shame if our tastes were all too different.
Certainly. She will come with you.
Father.
My dear Chiron, it is really touching to see how much you worry about your little sister. But I think she should decide for herself, don't you,
I will come.
Excellent, excellent. We will host a celebration such as Warwick has never seen. Come along. And it goes without saying that the anxious brother can join us later at the temple. Farewell, gentlemen.
Falk is a pimp, a traitor, and probably worse. I got us our citizenship. Why this insistence on the wedding?
Your siblings, Chiron.
But why Falk, of all people?
I won't tell you. I wish you could simply trust me.
While Falk prepares for his wedding, the Rondrians are combing the refugee camp.
They're looking for the necromancer. If he has teleported himself away, he could be anywhere.
That was a transversalis spell. Unusual for a necromancer. You were right. Those undead really were just summoned as a distraction from something bigger. From whatever the invocation of Blackaraz was supposed to do.
But what could be bigger than hordes of undead assaulting the West Town?
At any rate, it's passing strange that Falk is concentrating all of the Rondrian forces on the refugee camp. Almost as if he wanted to keep them away from somewhere else.
Despite everything, Falk is a Rondrian. What would he have to do with the Archdemon of Revenge?
I don't know, but it's strange that the Necromancer knew my name. The old Rondra temple is a strange choice for Calandra's wedding. The Warunkians say the place was a Necromancer whorehouse.
Falk wants to use the gesture. Today's good defeats yesterday's evil. The Warunkians will love him for it. Metropolitan Yarkon won't appreciate that. It undermines his authority. But he's not in Warren.
Fuck his authority.
That way, Falk can demand obedience from all of the Rondrians, even the ones who are less forgiving.
They shouldn't be.
While Falk prepares for his wedding, the Rondrians are combing the refugee camp.
They're looking for the necromancer. If he has teleported himself away, he could be anywhere.
At any rate, it's passing strange that Falk is concentrating all of the Rondrian forces on the refugee camp, almost as if he wanted to keep them away from somewhere else.
Despite everything, Falk is a Rondrian. What would he have to do with the Archdemon of Revenge?
I don't know, but it's strange that the necromancer knew my name. Calandra didn't go with Falk's mother voluntarily. She's been controlled.
That was a Be My Friend spell. A harmless elven spell. Probably Falk's mother tried to defuse the situation.
And it's Be My Friend's very harmlessness that makes it so suspicious. She must have a very, very good knowledge of that spell to calm down someone as angry as Calandra. Did you notice her pointed ears? If she is an elf, how can she be Falk's mother? He's no half-elf.
Maybe she's only his foster mother. That happens more often than you'd think.
You just don't want to understand. I'm going to the Rondra Temple. I'm not... At least one of us has to stand by her.
Angrosh, smile on you, lad. I was looking for you.
Did something happen?
Cartel broke into our headquarters. Kidnapped Fyodor. Well, that kicked a right large rock-a-rolling. Now I'm going around warning my people. It's quite possible that you're next on Perel's wee list. We've given the cartel enough cause for revenge.
Have you heard about the desecration of the Prior's temple?
Yes, and I heard that you done well, lad. Too bad the Rondrians have taken over the kit.
It was very strange. There were signs pointing to the Lord of Vengeance everywhere. Maybe this whole attack was just a diversion.
Sounds like the cartel. They're capable of anything.
Why would the cartel willfully desecrate a temple?
Whoever catches the villain, well, the Warunkians will celebrate him or her. And that could be useful to Perel when the balance of power shifts again.
You
Yeah.
mean when officers are awarded again?
Pretty smart, old Perel. Forges himself a dragon, sinks it in Batanger, and then he goes off to Xorlosh as the great dragon slayer.
What?
I mean that Perel wants to swindle his way to fame, that's all, lad.
Why is the cartel willing to take such a risk for that mage?
Perel just couldn't admit that the guards had the better cards.
Better cards? You just locked Fyodor up without using his knowledge.
But we could have, the way Perel can now. Sure, I didn't treat Fyodor like a guest, but he is a heretic when all's said and done. People cannot just do and say what they want. Everyone is responsible for their own actions.
Really?
By Angrosh's beard, aye, that's the way of it.
And what if it's not Perel who's behind the necromancer, but Folk of Aravor?
Well, if he
game
manages
is
to capture
fun.
the necromancer, the Warunkians will celebrate him as a...
And he's probably got an eye on Yarkon's position as head of the Rondrians.
Slow down, lad. Metropolitans aren't made overnight. He'll have to kill Yakon in a duel for that. And he'd be needing a real good reason for a duel like that, lad. Otherwise, he'd have half the Church of Rondra stomping through his tunnel come morning. Outside his door, I mean. With swords, you know that?
But many Warunkians would take his side.
At the moment, they're combing the western city. Maybe they'll even find him. And if not, we'll find him. We can do what we want now that the Rondrians are gone.
I'm gonna head over to the old Rondra temple. I want to pick up my sister there.
Fine, lad. Take care of yourself.
People of Warung, be reminded that every death must be reported to the Metropolitan, and each body delivered unto the Diots. Anyone who refuses to comply and continues to exchange dead bodies for cash is now considered dead, and will able do without one of their ears. Hear ye well. The days of the dragon are over. Mistress Rondra, be praised.
Those assholes in the guard slaughtered everyone who wanted to get the food from the armory and spread it around.
Those assholes in the guard want to spread it around fairly, not just
Those assholes in the guard slaughtered everyone who wanted to get the food from the armory and spread it around.
Those assholes in the guard want to spread it around fairly, not just throw it out into the street where the strongest just take it all for themselves. He's still young and a strong arm.
Here,
Warumpians!
Warumpians!
He would still have
The
a life.
Metropolitan has decreed. Punished with 12 strokes on the cane. If they do so publicly, they will receive...
I'm glad to be in here. I hear people in the West Town are rotting away.
You hit her.
My wife will be silent when I demand it.
That's enough!
Chiron, drop it.
That's right, my love. It would be a shame if my dear brother-in-law were forced to watch our wedding from the scaffold.
Man to man, Chiron will chop you into bloody little pieces.
It will be my pleasure. When the time is ripe. Men, march!
Didn't you defend yourself?
It's not as bad as it looks. His mother jumped in between us before it got ugly.
What did you do in the temple?
Wedding preparations in the temple, and some kind of test on me.
On you?
Chiron, there are more important things at the moment. Please listen to me. Fultz's mother seems to like me. A lot. I was able to ask her a great many questions, and she talked like a disciple of Namdus. Fultz struck me to stop me from asking questions. She already knows much too much, he said. And he was right.
What did Folk's mother check you for?
I think it was some kind of magic test. She wasn't much interested in anything.
Not much?
In the end, she said it had already begun.
And then?
Nothing more. She just smiled and talked quite excitedly about the wedding. And about freedom, power, and ecstasy. Fultz stood next to her drooling. It was disgusting.
That woman is really strange. Did you see her pointy ears?
I don't think that she's his mother. Rather something like his master. And right now she's none too happy with her student. She called him a failure.
Because it's unworthy of a Rondrian to lose patience?
No, he must have made some mistake first. I'm not sure, but it sounded as if he endangered some kind of cover-up. After he hit me, she hissed at him. "Fool! Now it has begun anyway," she said.
Maybe it has something to do with the refugee camp, the necromancer's escape, or the fact that I defeated him.
Or our magic gifts. I don't know.
This test, it had something to do with our magic powers?
When our blood mingled, it seemed to have awoken something.
This just can't be true. Father warns us for years not to mix our blood, but never tells us why. Then some masked elf comes along, and all of a sudden you somehow have to marry the man who pretends to be her son. And when our blood accidentally does mix, awakening some sort of magical powers in us, then guess which same elf has an answer.
An answer she hasn't given me, just a lot of solemn talk about the power of blood and pain. And that right after Fulton beat me bloody. Very appropriate.
I'm gonna talk to Father. He has to stop lying to us.
As long as you don't beat him to a proper tomb.
Let's flee, baby.
Calandra, let's get out of here. Father has his citizenship, so he'll be fine. There is no reason to marry that pig anymore.
There are 3 reasons why I should stay here and pretend like I'm actually going to marry Fulk. Firstly, that necromancer is still running around free. He killed off half the refugee camp and, if I understood you properly earlier, all the signs point to my groom. Secondly, Fulk's mother is the only one who can tell us anything about these strange magical gifts. I just can't believe that Father would break his silence after all these years.
And thirdly?
Thirdly, I know now that you love me, more than a man loves his sister. Even if these people kidnapped me and locked me up somewhere in the mountains, I know you would come to my rescue, so we need not fear.
I won't stand around here and wait until the wedding begins. I want to kill that invocator.
Wait, I found out something else that might help you. Fulk's mother talked a lot about the god Nandus' sons, Demon Master Borberad and Rohal the Wise.
Heresy in the old Rondra temple? Unbelievable to think that the Rondrians would tolerate such a thing.
Except for Fulk, there weren't any of them in the area when she talked about it. She mentioned a Council of the Dead, Borberad's Council of the Dead. It's supposed to be here in Moloch Mountain.
Father once spoke of it. We were very young, he had been drinking and was cursing the Borberadians. Upon his return from the grave, the Demon Master summoned the souls of the greatest scholars from Boron's underworld. He banished them into 3 troll skulls, which had to answer all of Borberad's questions. Whenever they refused, they were plunged into terrible agonies.
I remember. Father said that the skulls only answer Borberad himself, him or his official successor.
Borberad appointed a successor?
If he wanted to ensure that his church would continue to exist after his death, he would have to.
Maybe there isn't an official successor. Then the skulls would have to answer everyone.
Or no one. It would be worth a try. If I understood Fulk's mother correctly, the Council of the Dead is somewhere in Moloch Mountain. If the Council of the Dead knows the answer to everything, you could ask it anything.
So back to Moloch Mountain. Oh, this could be fun.
But it's so nice that you're doing it anyway. Good luck, my hero.
Yesterday, the cartel went out on another foray, and I saw my neighbour
Cannibal's still alive, but his prisoners as well.
Huh.
Who are you? And Scale, where are you going?
I'm Chiron, and I am here to consult with you.
You are not the master. He did not know you. You have never seen him.
Council will reply only to the Demon Master.
And yet you still talk to me.
You told the truth. You had to answer him.
And you will have to answer him again.
Stranger, what gives you this power?
I would answer you, but this power is a mystery to me.
Council is equal to you in its lack of knowledge. If he has not yet found out what has made him what he is.
If the Council were to answer only who declares his intent,
then shall the 3 questions of the Master attest the truth. Therefore bethink you, stranger, and inform the Council should you be disposed to face the Master's questions.
Ask the Master's questions. I'm ready.
Speak the Master's name. Forsooth of authority, that is his name. Hear now the 2nd question. What was the Master's eternal contradiction?
The ideal of freedom that should apply to everyone. If one is truly free, others must obey him.
In truth, that is his greatest contradiction. Now the 3rd and final question.
who shall speak for the Master in future?
The Church of Borberad was founded by gold-ornamented Ziran. He called himself Portifex Maximus, but it is said that he has fallen. Now there is the office of the High Prophet. It is said that he will bring the Master's wisdom to the believers until the day a new leader stands revealed.
The answer was not entirely correct.
But the future shall prove him right.
Ask your questions, stranger. The Council has found you worthy.
What is my magical gift?
Long remained undiscovered that which was buried deep. Blood alone opened the gate built by the Master's handmaid, which does ripen the 7 scattered across the land.
Gift will give you that which it takes from others. From the 7 grows the paladin. In the end, the greatest sacrifice will stand.
Yet today, your gift gives you power. Your blade's aura kills those who come from outside, those so terribly similar to you.
How do I find the necromancer from the Prios Temple? Whom did he serve?
He served a master different from the one he wished the world to believe. The man who once raised you had to be wrong to be right.
The Drover of the Dead will summon a greater servant. The Lord of Vengeance will send him the most evil of his servants. This will come to pass because the false hero will command Black Haraz's servant.
3 old friends, sharpen their blades, reconcile them, and you shall triumph, albeit without glory. The heretic knows the answer.
Who is Calandra? What are Falk and his mother going to do to her?
Once she was to share your fate, but the man who kidnapped her made freedom compulsory for you all.
Master's handmaid will take her into the harshest darkness. She plans the best of all deaths for Calandra or you. But this death is yet far off.
This is inviolable. Calandra loves you without let or doubt.
What can you tell me about Falk of Aravor?
Bathed in splendor did he rise, but he fought only to his own advantage. He was that which the Master's handmaid had intended, the most loyal of her sons.
He is your opposite in everything. He wants to take that which is yours as well. He is your brother, but only of the 7th part.
The Master's handmaid and he shall enslave you. You will experience great suffering. But should you defeat him, you shall have taken the first step on the path to your destiny.
Who is my real father?
He was one of 3. Then he wanted to be one of 2. He followed the Master's handmaid, but her greatest favor made her his enemy. He did not want to follow the 7th.
Now you are again 3 others, 3 newcomers who make the rest of the 7 tremble. Speak with him. He truly wishes to be your father.
He will not know everything, but he will help you. And one day you will again meet the Master's handmaid. Then shall the true father stand revealed.
I've heard enough.
Oh, now, stranger. The heretic will show you that which you seek. Your loved ones to bear your path unto him.
That's Chiron.
Hear, Warunkians! The Metropolitan has decreed that from this day forth, whomsoever makes unfair speeches shall be punished with 12 strokes of the cane. If they do so publicly, they will receive 3 times.
Those assholes in the guard slaughtered everyone who wanted to get the food from the armory and spread it around.
Those assholes in the guard want to spread it around fairly, not just throw it out into the street where the strongest just take it all for themselves.
It's good that you're here. I have to apologize to you. I was stupid. I should have believed you.
And you think that makes everything all right again?
No, I know it takes more than words to convince you. You're my son. I searched the room next door.
You broke into Volk's mother's room?
I wanted to be sure that the wedding isn't a mistake. I should have become suspicious much earlier. But for some reason, I believed that woman instead of the two of you.
She put a spell on you.
Possibly. But when I discovered the intricate little dwarven lock on her chest, I suspected she had something to hide. But the poison trap was the final proof. It almost got me.
And? Was it worth it?
I think so. I found a piece of parchment in the chest covered with magic symbols in a secret language I'd never seen before, but I can't read it.
I may know someone who can. A heretical mage half the city is fighting over. The only problem is that Perel Notgelf from the Kreutzer cartel is holding him prisoner, and I'm allied with Sergeant Fergalosh of the city guard.
Perel and Fergalosh? They were always squabbling about something.
You know them? Where from?
That was long before you were born, Chiron. Back in my mercenary days, during the Maraskan campaign.
Tell me more.
Perel Notgelf, Fergalosh son of Farragonai, the Clover.
The Clover?
A 3-man mercenary unit. We went through a lot. It wasn't always easy.
You're not together anymore. Was there a traitor?
Let's say it was about a woman. Enough said.
Tell me more.
Perel Notgelf, Fergalosh son of Farrag... A 3...
You're not together...
Let's say...
All right. So how can we take advantage of this?
We swore an oath that we would always assist one another in an emergency. Gods know a lot has happened since then, but the oath was to the death. Try to get in to see Perel. When you stand before him, recite the oath of the Clover. And do 7 winds contrary run, and death surrounds. From battle spun, shall these 3 swords still stand as one.
How do I get through to see the heretic?
We try to get in to see Perel. When you stand before him, recite the oath of the Clover. And do 7 winds contrary run, and death shall these 3 swords still stand as one.
I'm going to talk to the heretic.
Well, guys, I want to say thank you for watching this episode of CreamTV. I know I was falling asleep in it, I'm tired. If you like this episode, go ahead and leave a like, comment, follow, subscribe. If you want to see more awesome CreamTV content, do exactly what I just said. Turn on notifications, like and engage with my social medias up top in the overlay, also in the description below. Like and engage with some of your favorite YouTube or Twitch channel videos for different content on both. As well as if you're a YouTuber or a Twitcher and you're familiar with auto host, that's for Twitch. If you're to add me to that and I started streaming and you weren't streaming, your channel will automatically broadcast my channel about good exposure. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. Every YouTuber there's an auto feature channel. If you were to add me to that and someone random went to your YouTube page, it'll show up on the right side or the left side underneath your banner as a little channel icon and my channel name. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. And if you happen to go Twitch and YouTube, you wanted to go through your boy, oh my god, I would love you. Thank you so much. And I have no problem doing any of that back. Just ask. And if anyone wishes to make a donation to CreamTV, it's really easy to do. Go to twitchtv.com. The links to my page is on the top of the overlay. The full link is in the description below. And if for some reason you're trying to donate and Twitch is being a butthole, you can use the alternate link in the description below for Streamlabs. All funds will go to the same place. Any amount counts. All funds will be greatly appreciated, and all proceeds go to better hardware, software, games and gaming, internet, and most importantly, a better viewing experience for you. The people at YouTube, Twitch, wherever else to upload videos, wherever else this videos found their place, Streamer Squad, and of course the lovely engineers of the CreamPire. And guys, if you're into coding or scripting or website development or any of that stuff, check out scriptingforum.com. Link will be in the description below. If that's stuff that you're interested in, there'll be a lot of stuff there that'll pique your fancy. Check them out. As always, part of the interruption, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, stay out of trouble, and most importantly, stay creamy and tune in for the next awesome God like creamy goodness. Thank you.